Welcome, one and all, to Titan Hand Studios production, the first of many, hopefully. Today we will be playing WarThunder. More specifically, we're going to be playing Tier 3 German tanks, mainly the Panther D, the Warble Wind. I hope I pronounced that, but if I don't, YouTube will probably judge me and tell me I'm wrong. The Tiger H1. One of the more iconic tanks during World War II. It's a beast. I love it. Then you have the Panzer IV, which is considered what you would normally first get in Tier 3. I'll explain the weaknesses and everything of all the tanks and the advantages. Then the Jag Panzer IV. So let's go ahead and start with the Panther D. The Panther D, let's see, let me go to customization so I can bring up show armor. The Panther D is one of the more iconic tanks during World War II. It's considered one of the more modern tanks of War II from our time period. It's fantastic front plate, 80mm. You wouldn't think that would be a lot, but it's sloped. Which means it doubles your thickness, not normally, but it increases the thickness of which the rounds have to travel through. And it also increases bouncing or the chance for a ricochet to occur. Then the mantle plate is a 100mm. I've never been pinned by somebody shooting my mantle plates. Never. They've always ricocheted or bounced or hit but did nothing. Then a nice 100 right here, but it's 100 flat almost. It's a 100mm flat plate, which means you can be pinned, especially when you're using like the KV or IS. With a 85mm, you can pin this plate, especially at range. If you're facing this tank, don't try to go for the lower apical plate or the front plate or the barrel. Shoot right here. This is your best chance for destroying this tank at front. Then it's got a wonderful 75mm gun. Long bore, which means it can touch out or reach out and touch people. I've killed people across the map with this gun. Then let's go ahead and move on to the sides. 40mm thickness with a let's see if I can show it, 40mm hull. So you got 40 lower hull and 40 upper hull. The lower hull is flat, which means if you shoot right through here and you miss the tracks, you will pin the tank. And hopefully, if you do, aim for the lower part right through here. That's where the ammunition is stored, especially right through here. It's easier to pin right through here on this plate because you have the fuel tanks right here. Then you have your ammunition racks right through here, which will blow the tank lid. Now, if they're just using standard armor piercing, most of the times you are not going to blow this tank's lid off. Because armor piercing is just not explosive enough to do that. You may damage them in the sense that they have reduced armor, or not reduced armor, reduced ammunition, and damage to the crew or stuff like that. Then on the back, you have a 40, same as the hole on the sides here. Same exact thing. Try to pin through right through here, or up on the part to get the gas tanks to set the tank on fire. If you do manage to get this tank on its rear, and you put a round in the engine block or anything, try to aim right through here and destroy the breech, so they can't fire or they blow themselves up when they do fire, which is a fantastic part of WarThunder. If you have a damaged breech and you still fire, you run the chance of blowing up your tank, which is really funny to me. Besides that, use the traditional diamond formation to increase your armor thickness. See how from 40 to 95 to 80 to 163. Try to stay in this formation to reduce the chance of being pinned and destroyed. What else? Decent mobility and movement speed. Let's see. It will get bogged down in terrain. Just a warning. I've died because I've not paid attention and gotten into muddy dirt or sand, which most of these maps do have, and got myself killed. Now the Whirlwind, I swear I'm pronouncing that wrong, is basically a Panzer IV hull, as you can see here. Let's just switch to this. A Panzer IV hull with a quad 20mm turret top. That's it. Now some people, oh, this thing won't do. This thing will wreck tanks. Surprisingly, if you get in medium to short range, this thing will obliterate tanks. Especially mid-tier to low, it's a rape train basically. Then you have your frontal plates, 80mm, but it's flat, so all you have is 80mm. If you do get an engagement, most times they're going to go for the tank top, or the turret, and destroy the turret. They won't pin the hull most of the time, as I notice. People may have other experiences, but this is my experience. Keep it in the diamond formation, as I said, with the Panther D, so you have more armor, as you can see, from 30 to 70, so it's it doubled in armor thickness. And of course, the more you go down, the harder it gets. Then from 80 to 105 or 104, just depends on what angle you're being attacked at. Same thing as standard, get nailed in the rear, chance of running fires or destroying your engine. This is a hang back tank, and just patience is your best friend, and try to keep the bombers off your friends. What else? The mobility is actually faster. You're actually faster in this tank, and you have a little more mobility than the Panzer IV, because it is lighter due to the turret. So I'm going to save the Tiger for last because it's my favorite, and we're going to jump over to the Jag Panzer IV. Now the Jag Panzer IV is mostly sloped armor except for the rear. The rear is flat 22mm. Anything can pin that. But it has a front of 60, but it's sloped. So this is your friend. Keep your frontal plates towards your enemy. Like most tanks, front plate towards the enemy will most times save your rear end. So you're getting a more of effective of 87, depending on the angle, as I said before. But you get a fantastic mantle coverage. Most times people aren't going to pin you from the mantle coverage, because it's a 140mm. You need like an 88 point blank to pin that, and at that point you're still running a very high chance of ricocheting off the mantle. It's sporting a 75mm pack cannon. Decent range, same as the Panzer IV here. Decent range, decent accuracy, but most times, and decent pin. It's the pin on this thing is a standard of 135mm at a distance. Okay, so at 100 meters you got 135mm pin. At 500 it goes to 123. Then at 1,000 meters it drops down to a 109, which is still a very good pin rate. It means you can basically snipe across the map and pin most tanks, depending on where you shoot them, mainly the sides, or especially on the Russian tanks, that little driver's port that's right here. I know it's hard, especially with moving targets, but I have done it. Then on the sides here, it's a 30mm thickness, but it's flat. So keep your sides away from your enemies. They will kill you. Most times when I destroy these tanks, it's not from the front or the rear. It's because I get a side shot and I nail their ammo rack, which is on the other side of these plates right here. Then, as I said before, 22mm thickness, which means a starter, a newbie tank can pin you back here. Just avoid being caught on the back or on the sides, and keep your front plate. With tank destroyers, especially the German tank destroyers, you can't really do a diamond formation. That diamond formation, as I said before, is keeping your tank angled towards your enemy. Most times it's going to be flat, straight on. But you're going to be at a further range. Therefore, the chance of your enemy pinning you is reduced, but not non-existent. So, especially when you get it like a Tiger and a good Tiger pilot, or driver, or gunner, or whatever you want to call him, he will pin you. Especially on this flat part right here, where this driver ports is, or the machine gunner port, he will pin you. And most times he will kill you. So, keep at range, keep your sides away from your enemies, especially your rear, and keep your front always pointed towards them. Pardon me, guys. The Panzer IV. I love this thing. It's a good, medium technical tank, basically. It has spaced armor, which I have survived a KV-2, or a 152mm high explosive round has hit me, and I have survived because of these plates. And spaced armor, as it is called if I remember correctly, yet again YouTube will judge me if I'm wrong, detonates the round, especially HEAT rounds and HE. For those who don't know those acronyms, HE stands for high explosive, so big bada boom. HEAT rounds are high explosive anti-tank, which means the best way to describe it, if you know how an RPG-7 works. RPG-7 works on a shaped charge. Most time it's a copper cone with explosives on the cone. So when it detonates, the explosives shove the copper cone into a stream of molten copper that penetrates armor or buildings or whatever you're firing at. It's not really recommended for killing people, but anyways, besides the point. That's how HEAT rounds. I don't know if they've implemented Sabot rounds. I don't think Sabot rounds are World War II era or late World War II, if I remember correctly. Yet again, YouTube will know. The Panzer IV, like I said on the Whirlwind, I'm terribly sorry, guys. It's got the exact same armor, except for its space. So keep your tank, if you're engaging another tank, keep your tank in a diamond formation. Keeping at range is also helpful, but most times this tank is going to be your front line tank. It sports the exact same 75 as the Jag Panzer IV, so you get it's the same armor penetration, which is nice, and the same accuracy, which is also nice. I have used this as a tank destroyer. The turret is a 50mm. Flat though. Most of the tank. Sorry guys. Most of the armor on this particular tank is flat, which means trying to angle your armor is key to survival. What else? It's basically the exact same. It's a little heavier, so it's a little slower than the Whirlwind. But it does pack the 75 in a turret, which is nice. What else? I'm missing something, I think. Standard points of penetration on all tanks is the gun mantle right here and the driver points. The ammo rack is right through here if you're playing, or if you can see where the exhaust port there is, and it's also on the bottom if I remember correctly. So let's just take a quick look. I always go to modifications. It's customization. So let's go to X-ray. Okay, here it is. As I showed, there's an ammo rack crew, and right here, pinning right through here, hopefully will destroy the target or the fuel tanks, which are harder to hit. Where's the fuel tank? Okay. Oh, okay. They moved it on this one. The fuel tanks are actually on the bottom, so it's kind of harder to pin on the bottom because you have the wheels here. But nailing the radiator and the engine is also a good way to start a fire. As usual, just your standard points of engagement. But if you don't know what the standard points of engagement are on a tank, I'll show you here on. And the Tiger is the perfect example for that. I love this tank. I love it. I love it to death. It's my favorite tank of World War II. It's just one of the more iconic tanks. But the problem with the Tiger II, or not the Tiger II, which is another tank I really enjoy, but I don't have, which hopefully I will get for y'all guys, the Tiger H1. It's all flat armor. It's as boxy as you can get. So we're sporting 102 millimeters in front, flat, which means it's an effective of 102 millimeters straight on. Same with the apical plates. Most times people will pin you because the transmission is right here to stop the tank from, especially on the Tigers, stop it from moving. Then it has an 82 on the sides and 82 on the rear, which is nice when you're facing smaller targets. They can't often pin you, but it's a chance, honestly, especially if you get a good driver and gunner player, I guess you can say. He can destroy. I've killed these things in a chaff, which is really fun playing a chaff. I do have it in the American, and I'm going to be playing the Americans and the Russians, but I thought this would be a good first kickoff video for this series. 82 millimeter on the hull, or the turret, my apologies, and the hull, so your 82 is going to be your more common armor thickness on this tank. But it's all flat. I cannot emphasize flat armor is bad. It's bad. So your friend is diamond formation right here, keeping your tank turned at a degree where your armor is better, diagonal to your enemy. See how it's 102, 103 depending on your angles, 100, 175 depending on your angle. It doubles your armor and increases your survivability. If you're engaging this tank and you manage to get on its side, shoot through here. Right through here, and right through here, and right through here. Right through here is an ammo rack. Same here, and your fuel and radiator and engines are back here, obviously. But try to shoot the ammo. The 82, or not the 82, the 88 millimeter gun right here, larger round, and it has a higher chance of detonating and destroying the tank. If you're playing another Tiger, or equivalent with something like an 85 or a 75 or a 76, depending on your range, you can pin the front plates. If you can, and when you do, pin to the sides, right through here. Don't go for the gunner or the driver. Pin to the sides. This is my experience. Experience may vary, but you'll hit the ammo racks and you'll destroy them. Most times you're not going to pin the front mantle plates here. It's too hard. I have managed to pin the top part right through here. It's hard. I don't recommend doing it, but it was a 1 in a million shot. My round went high, and I managed to pin, and my round deflected down into the tank, and I did manage to kill most of the crew, and I destroyed his turret drive, his horizontal aiming drive. This thing is slow. it is slow. Not very maneuverable. It's heavy, so it gets bogged down, especially in sand and swamps. So try to stick to the roads or to solid ground and keep at a distance. Meaning try to snipe with this tank. Use it as a tank destroyer. It's considered a heavy tank, but it doesn't stand up very well in close quarter. So I believe I've covered everything. Let's see if I'm forgetting something. Yet again, this is one of my first actual Let's Plays, or not. Well, I guess you could call it a Let's Play for a game, since I'm starting out. If you have useful advice or constructive criticism, feel free to leave a comment. I'm not easily hurt or anything. I do welcome all the advice I can get. And if you like, or if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. Let's go ahead and go into the battle. I'll show you how to use these. Now, since I've done this, I'm probably going to make a huge fool of myself, and YouTube's probably going to say, "You're a terrible player." It's all jinxing me right now. I can feel it. Oh, this is a perfect map. This is a perfect map. Alright, I'm feeling lucky. Let's do it. It's loading, loading, loading. Keep the doggies moving right. Sorry. What should we start out with? Oh, let's go ahead and go with the tiger. Okay, good. We're on this side. I don't necessarily like starting on this side. I like starting on this side. This is personal preference. Let's see if there's that one guy that shoots. There's that one guy. I know it's always... Oh, there he is. It's always the one guy. It's the one guy that does it. He's always the first one to die half the time, too. Let's see. It's slow. It's so slow. Have I emphasized on how slow it is? And there's that one guy. Don't trust anybody to keep their fingers off the firing button. I've had a guy shoot a 152 in my rear beginning of the match. Was not very pleased. But you always have that one guy. Oh, looks like we have a proud Canadian. It's good to see it flies like that. Let's see if we have anybody else. Let's go over here. If we can get it. But again, it's a very slow tank. Ooh. See how I've angled my armor? There he is. That one Sherman. Which also is my squad mate. Let's let him go first. See, that's a bad example. Especially on a Sherman. You don't ever want to do that. The reason being is your left plate is still... Oh, I'm getting out. Artillery does not bode well for this tank. Doesn't mean I haven't survived. I don't. I want to be a good player. Avoid artillery. Nobody's here. Got a cross. Angle. I zigzag to prevent it. Okay. Clear on this side. These are up over here. Let's get into a crossfire position. Panther D. Oh, I'm incredibly lucky. Oh, beautiful shot. See what I mean by shooting right there? That little plate. Oh, I just love the sound of this thing. Oh, guys, let's go over here. Ease out. Let's see if we can hit the target. Oh no! No! Come on, just fire already. Really? Really? Oh, okay, never mind. Well, see what I mean? I got greedy. I didn't play right. I got greedy and I got punished for it. So let's go ahead and hop into the Panther D. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to show you all the tanks because this is just a 3 spawn limit match. It's, look at it. It's beautiful. Oh. Sorry if you'll hear thunder in the background. It's starting to rain. Nope. That cannot be allowed. Ready! M18s are a menace to any tank, honestly. There he is. Shoot, I can't see him. He's moving too fast. Okay. Ah! Shot high. My armor angled. Ah, ricochet. Did I hit a crew member? Ah! See what I mean by keeping... He's I don't know if he's intentionally doing it, but he's angled in such a way that my rounds keep bouncing. And I hate to get up close with that M18. Hopefully that Panzer IV can spook him out. Oh. There's a good pin. I think I nailed his transmission. Let's see if we can't stick another round in him. Oh, that one verged to the right and hit the building. That was a terrible pilot. Oh, and okay, good. Terrible pilot. I shame you. He didn't even damage. Ah, he tore off all my little mud flaps. Oh well. Brick hero. Be that epic person. Anyways, let's see if we can't find another target. The statue. I love the mist because it forces you to look down in your gun sights to see if anybody's actually there. Oh, no. Is he dead? I think he's dead. No. Where did that round come from? Oh, shoot. Ah! See, that's a good shot. He knew where to hit me. He got my ammo rack and destroyed it. Oh, never mind. Let's go with the troll tank. This thing is amazing. I love it. it will mess you up pretty quickly. Let's see if we can't get an aircraft or two to actually use what we're supposed to be using here, or how we're supposed to be using. It doesn't look like. So, we're gonna go Rambo in here. Look like I'm gonna be able to pin him. No, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pin him. If I control him. Ah! T-34 shot. Oh, good shot. Good shot. I'll hand it to him. My KV-2. Good looking tank. One of the more derpier tanks designed by the Russians. The Russians have always had a motto of very crude looking but very effective warfare units. The KV-2 is actually mounted with a naval gun. 152 millimeter naval gun that was snub-nosed. A little war history for you. But if you liked the video and you want to see more, please press a thumbs up, subscribe, and share with your friends. I'm trying to start a YouTube channel, so any advice or criticisms that you can give is all welcome. And have a good day, and God bless. Bye-bye!